Right into the news then.
Yeah, we were both sitting, but like, it's kind of funny this week. I know a lot went on in the world. We had Alex Trebek die.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the president is now Biden. Well, not yet, but that's where we're headed.
Trump's currently barricading himself in that office.
Right. You know, Melania's already packed up and she's bounced. You know, she's going to be the next person on The Bachelor.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Like, you know, a lot of women get mad at me when I say I feel sorry for her.
Really?
But I said towards the end, I just did it. You can tell she did not want to be there. That's not how she sees her life. Yeah, maybe she got together with him for the wrong reasons to begin with.
I see
but
what you're saying.
You know, every human being should have the right to be able to leave.
Yeah, she's been trapped.
And she's been trapped.
Totally.
So you know what, women, write all the hate you want. Fuck. I'm either too much of a woman lover or too much of a woman hater. I can't make up my mind.
I don't know, but at the same time, I don't feel that bad for her because you're still the first lady. It's like pretty cool. Even if you dump them now. Like,
and she hates Christmas, which is even weirder.
Well, see, I like that about her. I liked when she put all those creepy Halloween-y trees last year. Remember, they were just dead trees all over the White House. Anyway.
That's because that's what she felt inside. She's like, I'm dead. I'm so dead inside. But a lot of shit went down that everything seemed irrelevant. Like everything else that went on. So when we usually sit down at the beginning of the podcast and go, okay, like, do we have any personal stories? Anything funny like that?
We got nothing. We
got nothing today. So we're just going to dive right into the fucking news.
Except if you are listening to this real time, it is Remembrance Day.
Oh, yes.
So that's an important thing to mention.
Lest we forget.
Seriously. You know what's funny, though, on social media? I see people saying Happy Remembrance Day. You think, like, that's not a thing. You don't say that, people.
I always find it, have I ever told you I find it a very awkward time of year for me?
Because you've had a lot of...
Well, I'm an extremely proud Canadian. I am. Why. I will always be a proud Canadian. However, I do come from Japanese and German descent. So this day is not exactly my shining day.
Just in case you didn't know she was the axis of evil already.
Right. We're just missing an Italian in my family, but we don't have any of those. I can cook like an Italian, though.
Oh, yeah, you can. What are we having today?
We are having a nice homemade from scratch. It's just like a marinara with meat. It's a meat sauce.
You started that so strong, and then like, it's just ragu.
It's a meat sauce, but I did make it from scratch. So you're doing
in for a treat.
Yeah, in for a treat.
I always am when you cook, because you take it serious these days. No more ragu.
Oh my God, no.
For you.
If anything, just get like the strained tomatoes, you know, like, and then you can use like an immersion blender.
What's an immersion blender?
It's those handheld. Do you know?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I don't own one, though.
All right.
All right. So, yes, right on the heels of Remembrance Day, let's talk about poo and cum. Okay.
Oh, gross. Let's not start with that one.
Okay. There's a little tease for you people.
Let's do something a little bit better.
A little more wholesome to start.
It's not a great segue, Jesse.
Okay. How about talking about work and sex? Is that a little better?
Sure.
Work and sex? Or would you like to talk about a caught cheater?
A what?
A caught cheater.
A caught cheater. We had one of those last week too.
We're going to talk about it all. We got germs. It's a great episode coming up. Okay.
Let's pretend that we did not just like honor our veterans.
Okay, no, I'll do the other one first. We'll ease into the sex.
Actually, here's before we go in, I will say that if you do have a chance to donate to anyone this time of year, I'm going to plug a nonprofit I've been working with through a company that I work for. And they're called Watch My Six. They're based out of Petawawa.
Oh, with the dogs.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a female-run, veteran-run nonprofit. And what happened was Jill McClellan.
We haven't drank that much.
Yeah, no, we haven't. It's just a hard word for me to say. That's a lot of L's there for an Asian. No, I'm just joking. Anyways, she found herself she was a veteran and she was suffered from severe PTSD and she couldn't go out of her house and stuff. And she had this beautiful Siberian Husky named Max. And she was like, why don't I just train him to be like a service therapy dog? So she tried, and there's long wait lists, and it costs up to $30,000. Like, not with the dog, like you bring the dog.
Yeah.
So she contacted one last trainer, and the trainer was like, yeah, this is a serious issue. Why don't we start this organization called Watch My Six? So they use their resources to help train people's dogs to become service and therapy dogs.
That's great.
Especially for veterans and currently serving military members. So
are you going to be a foster mom? Is that what we're getting at here? Huh?
My hope is to actually foster, but elderly dogs so that they have a nice place to be when they're in their last few years.
That's
Who ever thought I was so nice, hey?
I know.
I used to be called cold all the time. Be softer, Jenna. Be softer.
You know,
Listen to the words out of my mouth.
I think we're both softening because recently you asked me an opinion on something and I gave you the gentlest opinion of all your friends and I'm used to being the mean one.
Right.
So what's wrong with us?
I don't know. We're getting old.
Getting old and nice.
Soon we're going to have kids, Jesse.
Oh, speak for yourself. You got one sitting on your lap.
I know my boo-boos.
Lincoln. All right, so here's what happened. This guy get caught. Oh, gosh. This guy get caught. That's a lot of G's for a gay. This guy got caught cheating in a selfie. This is very 2020.
What a fucking idiot.
Total dumb move. Wait till you even hear. Okay, I'll let you guess. What do you think happened?
Like it was like a reflection in a mirror or like his glasses or some shit like that.
But do you study what's in the background of people's selfies? Because I sure do. You see what they have.
It depends on how much is going on in the background. You know, and if you're checking like someone's selfie that hard that you're dating, chances are I got hair in my
You're already suspicious.
Chances are like you know what you're gonna find anyways.
You know, that seems to be a reoccurring theme on this podcast, that these girls or men that catch their significant other, they were snooping.
Right.
So the lesson is don't look for what you don't want to find.
Exactly. Or just accept the fact that you're right. You don't need proof and leave.
Trust your gut.
Right. We actually have a letter that's coming up that is definitely in line with what we just talked about there.
All right. Yeah. Stay tuned for Friday. Okay, so after you hear this, crazy. A woman named Sydney Kinch. That sounds like a fake name. Sydney Kinch, she posted a video on TikTok earlier this week showing how she got her boyfriend of 4 years cheating. So he sent a selfie from the car, and when she looked in the reflection of his sunglasses, she saw another woman's legs sitting in the passenger seat.
Well, legs is one thing. It could have been a friend. It could have been someone's sister.
So this is why he's double stupid, because he just copped to it when she confronted him.
I mean, sometimes did he really? If he's just going to cop to it, he probably didn't care much about his 4-year girlfriend anyway.
Yeah, but also, like, I want to hear from this hussy that was sitting in the passenger seat, because just a minute, babe, I gotta, like, stop blowing me. I gotta send my girlfriend a selfie. Like, why would you?
Maybe it was her friend, so they were all in on it.
Little Shania Twain thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Shania.
So this picture is totally blatant. It's surprising the boyfriend didn't notice before he sent the selfie. I'll show you a picture of it so you can see. There's the legs. See, she's got her legs.
I don't know what I would think about that. We'll post it.
Yeah, but just if you're on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube.
All right, so there you go. And so she confronted him.
And he just was like, yep, I got caught.
Got in a huge fight, and then he ended up confessing that he not only cheated with this one, but at least 5 other women over the past 4 years. So he's a dirty dog.
Dirt McGirt. I had an ex like that. You're better off without him.
Yeah. But the question is always for me, like, when these guys are notorious cheaters, obviously it's some big man thing, right? Where they're like, let me see how many bitches I can get.
I don't think it's about that at all.
Then why?
I think it's about being insecure. I think it's about, I
don't know. Then just be single and have all the girls you want.
Right. But maybe they like to have pussy on speed dial.
Oh. So, okay.
You've got your regular hoe, and then you have these other girls or not hoe, sorry, that's so derogatory.
We know what you mean.
You've got your regular girlfriend, and then you have your side bitches.
Yeah, because bitches is not
right. Except for if you're a side bitch, you're being a bitch, okay? I'm a female, I can say that. If you're being a side bitch, you're being a bitch.
Yeah. I bet a lot of these guys like the security, like you just said, of not just the sex security, but like the partnership.
I think it's attention too.
It's
attention. They get their needs from everywhere. Like I remember when mine was cheating on me back in the day, like one of his girls did his laundry. Like, one of them bought him things. So like, I think it's just that,
Variety's the spice of life.
But the good thing about that is I didn't have to do either. I didn't have to buy him things or do his laundry. But whose bed did he sleep in at night?
Well,
mine most of the time.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, when he was in town.
Maybe there's something there for open relationships, because you don't need to do it all, ladies. Team up with another girl. Say, hey, you don't like giving blowjobs? I do. I'll trade you that for the anal. Like something.
It's not how straight girl conversations go.
Sorry, I have a limited scope of conversation.
Yeah, there's so much competition between women. I think it's just like natural. I almost think it's like embedded in our DNA. Embedded in our DNA is to just, we are extremely competitive against women. We try not to be. All of us want to be like, but when maybe it's because even in like work situations, you're always the minority. Right? So when there's another one, it's like, okay, now we have to compete for this one spot for the one woman in the room.
Yeah.
When that's not it. But I do feel like it's this thing that's kind of been
I agree
ingrained in our DNA. And
there's that with the gays too. Like when you work somewhere and a new gay starts, you're like, who's this bitch? And then you end up being best friends.
Exactly.
Or boyfriends.
or both.
Yeah. So cheater, pumpkin eater. I it's just discouraging as both of us are like trying to dip our toes back into dating.
Right.
You know? What, you're looking up something on your phone?
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, you have? So, wow.
So I guess people don't know how we operate.
No,
hey?
that's why it's like, I don't know how deep to go with this.
But the reason is because it's coming off like it's a relationship-y thing too.
Okay.
I found this very, very interesting. Americans say a lack of food compatibility would be a relationship deal breaker. So you know how we spend, in relationships, you spend a lot of time arguing about where to go to eat.
Yeah.
Not arguing, but
deciding
where to go to eat. So that's kind of what it is. So if your food compatibility is completely off, if we have completely opposing tastes in food, that's a lot of arguing and a lot of going back and forth, which puts strain on a relationship. So then in turn,
okay,
you're not as happy.
But wait, let me ask you something, because I know both of us have very wide palates. Like there's not a lot of food. You ask me every week, what do you want for dinner? I don't know.
I've been with a guy who didn't like a lot of things that I like. Like he didn't like shrimp and seafood. And I'm like, okay. I really like shrimp and seafood. Great source of high protein, low calories.
Since I've met you, I've gotten more into seafood.
Right.
Is there something for you though that you would like, what was that?
Seafood. Remember that? Do you like seafood? Is my tongue purple?
Not yet. Take a sip.
Right. Watch some tongue doctors watching is like, those guys are really unhealthy.
Oh, please. And yeah.
Okay. So.
But wait, do you answer my question? Do you have a category like that you don't like? You're pretty open with food.
I do not like big chains. I do not like pub food.
Until she's 3 beers in, and then we're getting calamari,
even
poutine,
so,
nachos.
You know that I don't eat like a lot like that when I'm out drinking. When I get to a certain level, I'd stop eating.
It's true.
What did I have? I went out Friday for the first time in a really long time. Went on a nice patio to this place called the Metropolitan here in Ottawa. Lovely patio and a lovely owner. But we were sitting out there and like I was like starving, but we were waiting for people to show up. So I just kept drinking while I was waiting to eat. And then finally, like when they got there and we ordered food and appetizers, I was like, I want escargot. So we got like, I ate like 2 escargot and like some charcuterie. And that was like it. And then I woke up the next day wondering why I was so hungover. I was like, I didn't eat anything because when I get to that point when I drink, that drunk point, not hungry, I'm just thinking of liquid.
Yeah. And you got the calories there too, but it's not the same.
Right. And which is always in the back of my head, like, oh, Jenna, like, your calories are adding up. I drank everything under the sun. I remember what I drank, which is a good thing. I started off with a dirty martini, and then I moved on to a glass of wine. Then I had 2 hot toddies in a row. So that's whiskey. And then I went back and had another 2 glasses of wine, then ordered a half liter of wine.
Oh, my God. So it was a good 10-drink day.
Oh, yeah. It was.
Oh,
it was a great day. Thank you very much, Chris, for that. All right. So the average couple argues 156 times a year over where to order their dinner from.
So we're just going to brush right over who Chris is. Okay.
Right. No, it's my friend's brother. It's just very nice.
Okay. Say that again. I wasn't listening.
Okay. So the average couple argues 156 times every year over where to order dinner from.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it was 2,000 people that they studied, which is a good chunk of people. They get in fights 3 times a week at least.
But where to eat?
Yeah.
Cook at home.
That is right.
Yeah.
Fucking America. It takes an average couple 17 minutes of deliberation to finally make a decision.
Yeah.
17 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
16% said they'd take an average of 30 minutes. That's so much. You could have had sex like 5 times.
But listen, you and I have been here, don't you know? And we go through the apps and we're like, I just turned into Bobby's mom. Don't you know?
Don't you know?
We've been here, don't you know? Because we look through what's on sale. If it's pizza, which pizza place has so special on right now? You know, at least if you're a cheapskate like me, that's how I do it. And
but this is more about arguing, debating. So it's not like, okay, we picked pizza. You know,
oh, I got it.
Even after the decision has been made, almost 1 in 3 end up fighting about who's going to be the one to go pick it up.
Ooh. Now, wait, let me ask you something. Is that, or this isn't a gender or gay straight thing, but in my last relationship, there was a very distinct role. Like, I knew I was the one that would go pick it up, always.
Oh, I mean, growing up in my family, like, Well, we never ordered takeout though. But I was going to say there was definitely rules when it came to food. My dad was the cook. My dad cooked everything. My mom did not. She cleaned.
Well, what if it was something you need from the store? Like, oh shit, we need.
My dad would go.
So, okay.
Yeah. Or my mom. They're really easy on that, you know.
So I just feel like, anyway, in my experience, you're not arguing about that because you already know.
Yeah.
But
6 in 10 people admitted that there are places they don't like eating at, even though their partner loves it. That would drive me nuts if your partner had like this favorite place. So I know a couple, and like one of the moms is like loves this like cheap like Italian, but just like typical ragu type Italian food. And he hates going to like dinners, but they have to because it's like the mom's favorite place to go.
Right. Yeah.
So it's so stressful. Like I would, if I had a boyfriend and he had a place that he loved eating and I hated eating there, I would try everything in my power to like change his mind about going there. Like if that involved like cooking the dinner at home with no clothes on, then that's what I would do. But do you know what I mean? I go to that extent but I don't think I would ever be like, I hate your favorite restaurant either.
Yeah.
But I would just go out of my way to try to make us eat somewhere else.
I guess this is a time of dating thing, right? Like, because if you're just starting, I could get that. But if you're like 4 years in.
Oh, I think I still would keep it to myself, especially if they loved it so much. I'd be like, oh, you like that place so much? Go with your friends tonight.
Yeah.
Have a great time.
You don't need the old ball and chain with you.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Oh, it's your birthday? No, you know what? Go to that place with your friends. Let them take you there and I'll make you a special dinner instead.
But see, this is the thing. Don't go down this road when you're starting a new relationship where you hide shit that you don't really like. And then you find yourself in a position where you're like, oh God, now I have to pretend for the rest of my life that I like this place. To me, a sign of a good relationship is being able to be like, I don't want to fucking go there.
But what if it hurts their feelings? That's what I always get sad about. I just like, because I'm not, at the end of the day, like even if I hate the restaurant, like let's say his favorite restaurant was like one of the many pubs we have here in Ottawa.
Let's choose the biggest chain we can think of.
No, but don't say it out loud.
Montana's.
Right. Okay, perfect. Montana's. Like I can
Which I love.
Right, of course you do. But I can still go there and everyone listening is like, Jenna, it's great, you fucking snob.
Yeah.
You fucking snob.
It's okay, I balance you out.
Right? You're enough white in my life, you know?
And cheap.
But like, you know, I can still go there and still find something to eat and not be like heartbroken about it.
Okay.
You know, so what's worse? Me biting the bullet and just doing it, or like hurting their feelings about their taste in food? I would be very insulted if someone did not like my food or did not like my taste in food.
But there was a place you invited me and I said, Jen, I'm not coming to that. This was a long time ago. Was it dim sum? Or no, yeah. I agreed to try that.
You never did though.
I still haven't, but I would. But there was something you said where I just flat out was like, no, I'm not doing that. And we didn't get in a fight, but we were also not married.
I don't remember you saying no to me. You rarely say no to me when I talk about food. You always like to try because you
maybe
trust
I'm thinking
me
of something
now.
Else.
Maybe this was when we first met. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that, Jenna.
Word to the wise boys, learn from me. Rarely say no to Jenna. It works. I'm still here.
I'm a simple girl. All right, that was it. But I just thought that was a very interesting point because, you know, But I also think that even if, But I also think that if you meet someone new and your food compatibility is completely opposite, then try to introduce them. I had a friend who never ate anything green. She was like steak and potatoes. And then she met this guy who done lots of traveling throughout Asia and loved Asian food. And eventually like got her trying new things. And now she eats everything.
Yeah, see?
So, you know, as long as the other person isn't resistant to trying new things, I think you'll be okay.
And if it's a white boy from Canada like me, it's easy to do because you even opened me up.
Just sprinkle everything in Cheeto dust.
Well, then we'll like it for sure. But what I'm saying is you even expanded between you and my ex, I have a whole new ethnic tongue now, which I'm very grateful for. No.
Wow, hey?
Well, if I was lucky.
Okay. If you were lucky. If you just want to use the tongue, I'll just put a blindfold over my eyes.
What was that? Something happened recently talking about us. No. Oh, I can't remember. No, it was something about you and I hooking up. And I was like, why do people keep asking us this?
I don't know.
It hasn't happened yet.
We always get really drunk together. So I feel like if something like that was to happen, it would happen on a very drunk night. And we have those all the time and nothing has happened yet.
Yeah. Maybe we need to do some like hard drugs, like meth.
We're not legal in Oregon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Meth?
Made meth
I heard shrooms. I
They
didn't know
made
meth.
shrooms, meth, and something else legal.
Wow. Let's go to work. I don't blame them. Look at the year that they
I don't
had.
want to do meth. You're on your own for that one.
I've never tried it. I don't know. I just know it's.
I know it makes you skinny, Jesse, but it also fucks your skin up.
Yeah,
so.
and your teeth.
Right.
And
your life, you know.
Yeah, except unless you're Fergie, she kicked it, and look at her, she's doing great.
Yeah, really. What is she doing these days?
Yeah, good point. All right, enough about meth. Let's talk about poo and cum. Now, this was one that could have been a listener letter, but we didn't receive it. It was just something that Jenna saw.
I saw it, on Twitter. No, that's not really. It came from Twitter, but my friend talked about it on our walk over the weekend. He was like, "Oh my God, we got to talk about this like Freudian sort of."
And what's that friend's name?
Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Because he works with like mental health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So from a psychiatric perspective, he finds this very interesting. He knows I'm interested in that. So yes, it's very Freudian.
Very Freudian.
Very Freudian.
It's a letter, which I'll read.
It actually makes you wonder what you can actually train yourself to do.
Well, and I have a personal story that relates to this. Mm-hmm. Here's the headline.
The fact that you say you have a personal story concerns me so
and they don't even know what we're talking about.
Let me get a little bit more drunk.
Okay, I'll read the headline. I accidentally Pavloved myself to poop every time I come.
Oh, sorry, it's Pavlovian. My bad, not Freudian.
Oh, same fucking shit.
No,
we all knew what you meant.
No, it's not.
Pavlov's with the bell and the dog.
So we talked about this on our walk too. Pavlovian means that you have been able to train yourself through stimuli to make your body naturally react in a way without you consciously doing it. So with Pavlov's dogs, remember he fed them at the same time, ring the bell, and then it got to the point where he didn't have to
have a treat.
Yeah, he just rang the bell, and then it got to the point where they actually just salivated at the same time every day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas
Freudian is that whole thing where it's like, I have penis envy and you want to fuck your mother and all that weird shit.
Right.
Huge difference.
I was wondering with the Pavlovian thing today, because we typically record on Mondays, and Lopez gets very anxious about just before it's time for me to leave to come over.
Because he loves me so much.
And I wondered, could he know? Like, did they work that
Definitely.
way?
We do. I know that if when you come over usually at 5 o'clock, now we have to do it earlier because of the sun. But 5 o'clock, like at 4:30, I'm like, okay, I'm thirsty. I'm ready to have a glass of wine.
Because you're not at 2:30.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what this guy said. He's 20 years old. His girlfriend's 22. This is the 20-year-old writing. He's a guy. When I was younger, I was only able to masturbate when I was going poop because of privacy reasons in my home. So sooner or later, I would jerk off and then go on with my poop. That slowly evolved into doing both at the exact same time.
Well, if you think about it, if you have a good poop, it feels good.
It does.
So I could see where, especially as a man, because when
exactly
area and stuff, I could see that.
Oh yeah.
So you're not that weird. Don't worry. So far.
He goes on to say, now I didn't see anything wrong with this until I moved out of my family home. When I finally moved out, I decided to masturbate on my bed. And well, throughout the motions of finishing, I accidentally made a mess on my bed.
Oh, he pooped.
I wasn't able to hold my bowels in. So I decided to continue masturbating on my toilet to make sure I didn't make another mess.
I would too.
Well, I didn't see anything wrong with this until I got into a relationship. Now, I won't describe the whole relationship phase, but I'll just say that we had sex and it was an event. I went over to her house, stupidly forgot about my predicament because I was so excited about this new girl.
Oh.
So here I am standing off of the bed, having sex, and right as I was about to come, I felt my bowels churn and I dropped a fat log on her bedroom floor.
Oh no. Well, at least it was a log and not like diarrhea.
Oh, down your leg and the stink.
Yeah.
It was right there in the middle of the floor in her bedroom. She asked me what fell, but I was too embarrassed to say anything.
No. This is devastating. This would be like, jokes aside, like this would be, imagine this being you. Oh. I wouldn't have sex with anyone ever again.
And knowing that this isn't even like a medical condition, this is something you Pavlovian trained yourself to do.
Pavlovian trained yourself.
Okay, it's not over. It's not over. Okay, so I was too embarrassed saying anything. I really didn't know what to do, and it smelled so bad.
Oh.
So I put my clothes on real fast and ran out of the house.
I left the turd on the ground.
Oh, yeah. So she totally saw it. So he finishes with this question. How do I salvage this relationship? Explain to her. She's been texting me nonstop, and I just don't know how to answer her. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh,
Please
okay. Like,
help.
we're not going to go and give you advice because I don't know. We're definitely not qualified to be giving you any sort of advice in this situation. But, you know, like, that's so crazy that he kind of did that, like, accidentally to himself. And how devastating. Like, I wouldn't have sex with anyone, and that's no way to live. I've lived that way for a few years now, and that's no way to live.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I'm just kind of confused and impressed how this whole problem got started, because typically when you come, at least for me, boys, you tighten everything. So it's like I would find it difficult to poo at the same time as coming.
Well, when you're on the toilet and you can just like,
like open it all up.
That's what I would think. I don't know what it feels like for men to ejaculate. So
I don't know. That's something that men and women can never compare. Really,
right?
I hear it's the same.
I'm sure an orgasm feels the same, but we don't. Like, some women ejaculate, but you know what I mean. So I don't know. Like, and honestly, with all the men I've been with, it seems seems a lot more enjoyable for them than, you know. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, here
like
I'm gonna
volcano erupts. You know.
I'm gonna for you mean a guy to come?
Yeah, like what it is. It's like
Yeah, it's just shorter. But, you know, I was talking on an episode recently about this cam girl show I saw on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ruin something for straight guys here, but or maybe not. But I didn't know that a lot of the time these squirting videos are pee.
Yeah, squirt is pee. You didn't know that?
My mind's blown.
It's because I've never squirted myself, which is like so much TMI right now.
But
I do hear that when you do it, it is like it's this almost like the poop in the thing where it's like you can't control it because your whole cervix and everything's just spasming, that maybe you lose a bit of control.
Wow. Well, on this documentary anyway, it was totally intentional pee. This girl was sitting there chugging water to be like pee and pretend it was squirting.
That's where I draw the line, is at bowel movements
and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Human waste.
It's not.
But I do. I feel really bad. So I want to know though, how the fuck do you have a story that somehow relates to this?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you know that, do you know that artificial strawberry smell? Like, remember when we were kids, strawberry shortcake came with
like with your doll, like this with the doll smell?
Like there's this artificial strawberry smell that you would recognize anywhere if you smelled it. Well, I was at a Fantasia party once. This was like years ago. And I got this strawberry lube. They sell it at Wicked Wanda's, but they don't have this flavor because I wanted to get this flavor again. It's a strawberry flavor. It has a little Japanese lady on the lube bottle, Toko or something. Anyway, this one was strawberry flavored, so I bought it from the Fantasia party, and me and my boyfriend at the time used it, and it was great. This was a happy period in our relationship.
Right.
I had positive memories.
We had a good time.
You know where I'm going. And so we used the strawberry lube, and then I realized one time I was out somewhere else and I smelt that artificial strawberry smell.
You got turned on right away.
And I got turned on right away, and I was like, woo, I need to sit down. And I had no way of knowing that it would have that response.
Did your sex change when the strawberry lube ran out?
Oh my God, maybe that's what happened. I've never been able to find it again.
Have you ever had one of those like sexual encounters or like such a good time that like sometimes if you all of a sudden think of it, like you're like, whoa, like not a turn on necessarily, but your body, like your stomach even gets like butterfly-y and you're like, oh God, I forgot about that time.
Yeah. Well, for guys, we feel blood rush to a very specific area.
Right, of course you do. The wind blows a certain way, and there's blood rush to that certain area.
But man, now I should message Wanda because I really want to find that strawberry lube again. If anyone knows where it is, Toko or something, Japanese. Picture Jenna on the bottle.
Maybe that's bit more like this, though.
Oh my God, we're not posting this video.
No, when my eyes were like that when I was little.
Oh God.
I love my almond eyes.
I
wish they were more almondy. So that was not an insult. That was me thinking about what my facelift is going to
Whatever.
look like.
You have the Asian cloak of armor. You can do what you want.
If I get a facelift.
One day. Maybe you want.
I don't even have enough skin to pull up yet. But.
Look at this. Okay. This is a podcast. Nobody could see us.
I know. All right.
So that's him. So could you imagine? Wow.
I feel bad. Like I said, like, also, like, there's what you could do is, like, if you're, like, fucking her while standing by the bed and, like, holding her legs, you could at least put a trash bag down behind you. So that
oh, my God. And the fact that he's, like, it smelled so bad. So, yeah, the worst part's over. You ran out of the house like a little bitch, and then she found
Have
your
you ever
log.
had to poop in the woods?
Yeah.
Poop smells bad when
I
it's not in
know.
the toilet.
I know. That's why we have water in toilets.
Is that why?
Yes, it helps with the smell and the flushing, obviously.
Okay, enough of this. Like, I can't do the poop thing.
So, but if you are asking for advice, which he's not because he doesn't even know who we are,
I'd go to another psych and try to rejig yourself out of whatever it is you've gotten yourself into.
Stop jerking off on the toilet.
Or yes, and when you do jerk off, like start doing something else. Like I don't know, when you come, start
or banging
a drum. You know, so it's like, so next time you come, all you're gonna be is like ding.
Yeah.
An imaginary drum. I'd rather play an air drum every time I came than shit.
Yeah, no kidding. Here's an idea though to practice. Do like gay bottoms and clear yourself out. Make sure you don't have any shit in there before you jerk off.
Oh, I wonder if that would fuck the ejaculation off though. Like I wonder if he'd be able to do it. I wish this guy did write to us.
I know, right?
I feel like we just came up with some really solid advice.
God, that's so weird.
Okay.
All right, so what do you want to hear? Two left. Do you want to hear about sex problems at work or germs in the grocery store first?
Fuck germs in the grocery store. We all know they're there. We don't need to go and spread the fear.
Okay, we'll do that.
We're not mainstream media anymore. We don't have to continue to spread
Well, some of them were surprising to me. Okay, we'll go through that quick at the end. So
okay.
Here we go. Here are the work problems that have the biggest impact on how much men and women enjoy sex. Have you ever tried to get it on and all you can think about is something shitty that happened to you that day at work or whether you had a fight with a friend?
No.
Okay.
But this is why I don't have sex with like people I don't care about. You know what I mean? I feel like if I didn't care about the person I was having sex, then I'd think about like, what's my grocery list going to be?
I see what you're saying. Because if it was a stranger that you felt the need to impress or something, then maybe you would be distracted. But if it's a boyfriend.
Or if I just don't like them or they're really bad lay, then you get distracted. Okay.
Well, a new study found the problems at work can affect how much people enjoy sex. Men and women have different work issues that cause those problems. So for women, job stress from things like having a deadline they're not meeting or a mean boss will impact their stress and sex lives. But for men, it's more about burnout, working too long, or being tired, and then they don't want to get it on.
Is it that they don't want to get it on when they're tired, or they just physically can't?
Oh, good question. I don't know. Enjoy sex. So you're not enjoying it.
So basically what you're saying is like, people are fucked regardless.
Yeah, that's it. See why I wanted to do the germs.
Right? So like basically what that study says is because everyone has stress in their job, so women aren't horny because of it. They're not going to enjoy sex because they're distracted. And everyone's burnt out and tired, not just men. Everyone's burnt out and tired. So the men aren't going to be able to get it up. So why don't we just go all sexless like Jesse and I?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 50% of that statement's a lie. Okay.
I'm not talking about sex with yourself.
Okay.
Sex with other people.
On to germs in the grocery store. What do you think then, Smarty Pants, is the germiest spot in the grocery store? Mm-hmm. Germiest spot. And this is Corona world. So think of all the stuff
I'm thinking.
That they wipe now. No. I am very clean. I shower every time before I go to the grocery store. Produce. No, it's the credit card or PIN pad.
I know. You know how sometimes your like tap doesn't work because it's like, please put in your password just to be safe.
It happened to me today.
That happens, and every time I'm like, ugh,
I know. I was like, now I gotta touch the machine. This might happen to me at a drive-through. So you know how they put out like coffee places, they put out like the big stick, but it didn't work. Please insert your chip, and I was like,
no, I don't want to.
I actually said nasty as I grabbed.
For once, you do not want to insert something somewhere.
Yeah, for once. Okay, second dirtiest, handles on the shopping baskets, not the carts.
I know. I use baskets too.
Me too. And because they're sanitizing the carts, but not the baskets, because a lot of them are like groovy and it's hard to.
Sorry, your dog was tickling my feet, and then I moved it. And apparently hurt him.
He's a big wimp. Okay, the front of your shopping cart. This is one I do all the time.
The front of the shopping cart?
Yeah, so you know when you want to pull it?
Oh, I don't pull.
I'm never again. I'm notorious for that all the time.
Every time I pull, I hit myself in the back of the heel.
Ooh, that hurts.
I know. That's why I stopped pulling a long time ago.
Don't do it because they never clean those.
I just push.
Third germiest place, freezer door handles. Lots of people grab them. They're never wiped down.
Basically like anything that people are touching constantly that they can't.
And the handle of your shopping cart, this is the least because it's...
just don't go to the grocery store.
Yeah, Uber Eats.
Apparently it's just such a dangerous place.
Yeah, that's it. The end.
All right. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. And don't masturbate while you're pooing.
And fuck with a mask on.
Cheers.